Do you have a clear understanding of what masculine and feminine energy are? That's something that I want to help you out with today. Masculine and feminine energies are naturally occurring forces found in nature. They are naturally occurring polarities. It's similar to a positive magnet and a negative magnet. They are the dual opposites of each other. If you're familiar with the yin-yang symbol, the non-duality symbol, basically they are sort of like the counterparts to each other. And these are detectable forces that you can become aware of by increasing your awareness of the present moment, basically raising your consciousness, being more sensitive to the underlying dynamics that are existing below the threshold of your awareness. A mindfulness meditation practice is really helpful for doing that. And each person contains masculine and feminine energy. Generally speaking, women tend to be more feminine and men tend to be more masculine, although there can be feminine men and there can be masculine women. And some people can actually be kind of neutral, but very generally speaking, women are feminine and men are masculine, generally. And like I said, each person has both of these forces existing within them. So it's not just one person is all the way this way or one person is all the way that way. There's a spectrum going on here. So I want to explain some core differences between these naturally occurring forces that are found in nature and how they manifest themselves in human beings. So I have a bunch of traits and then examples for each, and I want to start off by explaining what masculine energy is, what it kind of looks like, and how it manifests itself. So masculine energy is more structured. It brings order to life. Some examples of this are creating a detailed plan for some kind of project or organizing a workplace so that it is more efficient. Masculine energy focuses on direction and being direct. For example, giving instructions to a team about what we're going to be doing and where we're going to be going. And masculine energy in their speaking style is more direct. My videos are a good example of being direct. The masculine is driven by a sense of life purpose or personal mission, and they typically like to work diligently towards that personal mission. Some good examples of people like that are Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ, Buddha. They have these large sort of goals. Almost. They have these sort of big picture ideas and they are living in alignment with them. They're serving some kind of force that is larger than themselves. The masculine likes to sacrifice itself for something greater than itself. A good example of that is Jesus dying on the cross. The masculine represents the empty nature of reality. If you're familiar with Buddhism, they have the formless, empty nature of reality, and then on the other side of the spectrum they have the formed, manifested world. So the masculine is the empty nature of existence. It also represents the observer of experience, basically the empty awareness. A good example of this is just mindfully watching thoughts and sensations and not reacting to them. So like the Buddha sitting in meditation, attaining enlightenment. The masculine provides safety and security. An example of this is a masculine figure making sure that his family is taken care of. The masculine tends to be rational or intellectual. Scientists can be a good example of this. People who engage in debates are a good example of this. Philosophers can be a good example of this. And making decisions based off logic and analysis is another good example of this. Masculine energy brings action, so taking that first step towards a goal and basically taking the initiative to start some kind of new thing. Masculine energy brings clarity, so communicating ideas in a very straightforward manner. Once again, my videos are a good example of this. The masculine tends to be goal-oriented, focuses on some kind of clear objective and works towards it. The masculine is decisive. So this is about plotting the best course of action in a crisis, for example, or when you're at the grocery store and you can't decide between whether you want this fruit, maybe an apple or an orange. And the masculine is able to just make that decision. The masculine also brings strategy. So a good example of this is chess. That board game tends to be quite masculine. So strategy involves planning step by step towards getting to some kind of long-term goal. Now I want to talk a little bit about feminine energy. The feminine is far more intuitive. This involves trusting gut and heart feelings, as well as being able to kind of tap into psychic abilities. An example of this is feeling some kind of strong and unexplainable urge to visit a certain place, and then upon visiting there, there's a very deep and meaningful reason for being there. Some kind of aligned connection gets made when you are there, or you have some kind of profound insight or realization that could have only happened if you had listened to those gut and heart feelings inside of yourself and those sort of more psychic, intuitive capacities that we have. The feminine is more emotional, so expressing emotions during a heartfelt conversation. The feminine provides nurture, basically providing care and comfort for someone in need. Mother Teresa is a good example of this. The feminine is receptive. This involves being open to receiving whatever that might be, whether it's help or even receiving money or receiving love. It's about receptivity to the present moment. The feminine likes to flow with life rather than be directed within life, like the masculine. So the feminine is about moving with life rather than against it. The feminine represents the dance of life, the ever-changing nature of reality. An example of this can be self-expression and just dancing in general. The feminine represents formed existence, the actual manifest world that we can see, touch, smell, taste, as opposed to the masculine, which is the unmanifest world, the empty nature of existence. Feminine energy brings creativity, so coming up with new ideas. Feminine energy brings empathy, so offering support to a friend and really proactively listening to them and trying to understand them. It can be very supportive, uplifting people and making them feel inspired towards their goals, for example. Basically offering encouragement to people for pursuing their endeavors. Feminine energy brings flexibility, so an ability to adjust to changing circumstances. It brings compassion, basically an ability to show deep care for, let's say, the suffering of another being. It also brings spontaneity. An example of this is deciding to go on a road trip last minute with some friends because it feels right. Spontaneity is also about living in a sense of alignment with the ever-changing nature of reality, being in a sense of flow with reality. The feminine brings chaos and unpredictability, whereas the opposite of that, the masculine, brings order, structure, and predictability. The feminine also brings rest and rejuvenation. The work of a man named David Data highlights these dynamics very well, and each person, like I said, has these forces within them. Balancing them out properly within yourself and tapping into each when it is appropriate is what matters the most here. There's times where, let's say as a masculine man, you need to rest or stop doing things, stop taking so much action, stop being so directed, stop being so direct, just let go, flow with life, be present in the moment, smell some roses. Do this kind of stuff to be creative and just integrate some other forces that exist within yourself. And there's times as a woman to be decisive, take action, things like this, not just as a woman, but as someone who's feminine. So there's times where it is appropriate to tap into each force, and you have to be able to adapt accordingly. Discovering what your core essence is also matters a lot, whether you generally lean more masculine or more feminine. And if you lean more masculine, you'll be attracted to people who are more feminine, and vice versa, right? These are like magnets, right? The positive and the negative magnet attract each other. And by discovering what your core essence is, this helps you to create polarity within your relationship. If you understand that you lean more masculine, you can do things to increase your masculine energy so that there is more polarity within your relationship and vice versa for people who are feminine. That's it for this video. I offer one-to-one coaching. You can book a free call. Take it easy.